G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to IL-2 Great Battles with Mags, and welcome back aboard the A-20B for a little bit of multiplayer action. Although this is going to be some relatively quiet multiplayer. I had some odd hours to actually get out and have a little bit of a multiplayer flight this week. Unfortunately, most of the people I fly with were off in bed. This was at a ridiculously early hour for my time, and my local servers were actually all quiet. But thankfully, it looked like there was a little bit of an action going on over on the Wings of Liberty server. So I decided to take a little bit of a solo flight over there and see if I can get some bombing done. Not gonna lie, most of the night I spent over there was pretty, well, I won't say uneventful, but unproductive. There's about 80 people online on the server, most of them in fighters, and pretty much everybody was camping out the bombing zones, which were the primary engagement zones for the fighters. So I wasn't really having much luck trying to blow anything up, but I did get this particular flyout. So in this particular setup, there is a runway relatively close to the front lines. It's been there for a little bit of a time, and I noticed in chat that there were a couple of fighters that were going to go over there and see if they could stir up some trouble with the hostile German fighters that were defending this airfield. Sounds like a perfect opportunity for me to slip in underneath them, and while they're kicking the crap out of one another, see if I can take out the runway. Now, the runways in IL-2 are a bit of a pain in the ass to actually deal with. They're one of the worst targets to have to engage, and they shouldn't be. In reality, taking out a runway was pretty straightforward. Bomb the runways. Unfortunately, there's no ground damage modelling of that kind in IL-2, so you can't just drop some big ground-penetrating bombs on the runways, blow craters in them and call it a day. You have to take out individual targets, which means going around, bombing out the aircraft parking areas, strafing out the trucks, strafing out any aircraft that are on the airfield, and generally trying to hit all the small units that wouldn't really be much of an issue if there were a couple of great big smoking craters sitting in the middle of the north and eastbound runways. So anyways, that was my job for this one, is to go around and try and take out the target. So at this point, we're still on the blue side of the border, we're still on the Allied side. I'm obviously flying the A-20B in US camouflage rather than Russian, just because I haven't used this livery in a while. And I'm just getting the bombs configured at the moment, working out what my release pattern's going to be. Now, I did have the microphone turned on for this one, so I'm going to be mumbling to myself rather than to anybody else as I'm flying, but hell, that's not unusual for me, so hope you guys enjoy. The server is always overloaded. Alright, so if we stay on the river path here, this should lead us down to our target. We should pass south of the town. Should almost be lined up on the runway at the moment, actually. Honestly, really surprised the skies are so clear at the moment. Nobody seems to be patrolling the border this time. I should have visual. think that's it. This should be Yeah, and there's one here. Okay, so yeah, that's the smaller one that's close in, near the water. And that's definitely the active one. Looks like the anti-aircraft guns are already going off, so somebody's over there. So those fighters may already have gotten in position, unless somebody else is having an attack. So that seems to be arcing the AA tracer pretty low. Somebody else might be having a crack at this airfield. It's alright, if we can get enough planes down here and bomb enough planes down there, we might actually be able to take this bastard of a thing out. Yeah, I think I can be brave the first pass. We've got this row of aircraft pits down here. It looks like it hasn't been hit, so we'll go past the anti-aircraft guns as fast as we can while they're targeting other planes. Bomb those first, clear out the other side, and then I'll pick up the targets. Oh, somebody's having a go. Good. Some of those are German. Somebody has had a shot of those. I think a double pressed. Shit, yes, a double pressed. I'll let half of my small load go. We've still got some left. Blast the bombs out. That looks like it was on the money. No. Let's go back. There's no hardened targets around this runway, there's no sheds, there's nothing else, so we can take out everything else with the guns, if we can get a couple of good strafes in. And it seems everybody was a little bit too busy here, so... we got a Stuka down there. If those were recording. Up there we've got a truck. So we got one of the planes with bombs. First plane on the taxiway looks like a wreck, but the second one looks live, so we'll go in. Okay, is that an allied or an enemy wreck that's falling down at the moment? I'm hoping that's an enemy. If that's an ally, we're going to be busy here in a second. Any problem with flying out solo? With no air cover on comms. You're this one. My tail gunner firing. So I'm not sure if they're actually registering hits at all there. I don't Mags destroyed Park BF-109. Okay, so these are registering. It's just not showing. that was right across the truck, so that had to have recorded. Pop-ups. Still on my ass. So my biggest mistake here was coming back for a second and third time. I should have hit the target and got out. But it wasn't all for nothing. That last truck that I managed to strafe, which didn't come up in the chat, I noticed, but it did actually record as a hit, likely due to the lag going on in the server, 360 ping and the server's overloaded, was enough to actually destroy the airfield target. So we did actually hit enough soft targets to take it out. Unfortunately, I was there long enough that the defensive fighters managed to take down the allied fighters that were engaging them, and there was nobody left to go after but me. Now, if you watch closely, I do get a little bit of cover right towards the end of this run, but it was too little too late. The reality is, if you've got Focke-Wulf 190s on you in an A20, and they've got absolutely nothing to cause them to break off, well, you're not going to escape. That's just the way it is. That's the life of playing a bomber. But we did achieve the mission objective, and I did give them a good run here for long enough to drag them into another patrol of allied fighters that was coming up to begin a second attack on the airfield at the time that I managed to take the last of it out. And I know at least one of the ones that was attacking my aircraft got taken down because I got an assist for this. So 6 aircraft on the ground, 3 trucks, and 1 assist air-to-air combat before I was finally taken down. Not a bad day. Unfortunately, I needed all of those bits. Better luck next time. Anyways, guys, until then, take care.